And we need a verse from the Swifties. If Tap say drop, you better drop and give him 50. Yeah, I know. Don't judge me. Yo, what is good, my people? It's your boy Nick, aka your Slice of Fijian Spice, blessing your screens yet again with another video. Now, for those of you who haven't seen my last video, it is my reaction on the song Push Ups by Drake, the Kendrick Lamar diss, so make sure you go run that up, link is in the description. Now, this one here is going to be a follow-up review on said song, but before I get into it, guys, make sure you do me a huge favor and smash that like button, and be sure to subscribe for more content. Now, it's been about over a week since Drake has dropped his diss track, and as it's Drake, we know that people are going to be talking about it. Now, what I will say, yeah, is that Drake from the jump had a lot of fun with this diss track. Now, first off, this wasn't no 32-64 barology type diss track, you get me? And because of this, I was slightly disappointed because Drake being Drake, I know what it is that he's capable of. Like me personally, I wanted that duppy freestyle war type of rhythm. And because of this, I was kind of skeptical because when I first heard the instrumental, albeit it was a bit of a bop, I was thinking to myself, this wouldn't have been the first choice of instrumental I would have thought Drake would have chose. But then I sat back and then I just started to listen to it. I can't lie, I started to enjoy it. Like, it was weird how sassy and girly he was sounding, but at the same time it was catchy as hell. And we need a verse from the Swifties. If Tap say drop, you better drop and give him 50. Yeah, I know. Don't judge me. Part of me firmly believes that Drake did it in this particular way because he knew the attention that he was going to garner from it. And part of me believes that if he did it like this, then it would sting a lot more. And in spite of it being quite a girly, sassy diss, he still reminded us that at the end of the day, he still got bars. Heavy hitting ones for that matter. Every single line had weight and importance. No lyric was wasted. And the way that he had that bouncy flow just made all of the shots that he had just even more catchy. It was less of a 64 bar attack mode war rhythm type of diss and more of him clowning Kendrick. And to add insult to injury, he was able to retort very well to a lot of the bars that were made against him by other rappers. I feel like that it's a skill that's oftentimes overlooked when people are in a clash, especially if it's coming from Drake. Most people believe that a good diss just consists of somebody cussing someone. Whether it's their appearance, their personal life, the amount of money that they make, their personal family history. Which, don't get it twisted, it is, but it's also about the way you say it. Then it's also about hearing what was said about you, then breaking it down lyric for lyric, so that you can create a bar by flipping it on its head and responding more effectively. Drake knows how to write, he knows how to bar, he knows how to rap. You can't play with him. And I feel like a lot of the times people forget that Drake is clever and talented enough to do that. And this is literally just one of many that he's done. To go up against this many people and layer his shit in the way that he's done with double entendres, triple entendres, slick punchlines is something that you have to give credit for. Even if you're not a fan, this is part of the sport, this is part of the skill, this is part of the talent that as a rapper you need. Now, bearing in mind, I'm not saying that this track was unbeatable, but out of all of the sends that we've heard so far, this was definitely the strongest. For a round one first jab, boom, he's rocking, man. One thing I find funny, yeah, is that loads and loads of people love to hate on Drake because it's just a trendy thing to do. But the moment people actually tune in and listen to their bars, their whole tone changes because they know that he can rap. And the thing is, people will always find a reason to hate somebody that's at such a high level of success. And one thing that really pisses me off and highlights a lot of people's ignorance is this whole ghostwriter rumor. And that couldn't be more false. Because if he did have a ghostwriter, then all of your favourite rappers wouldn't be beefing him or wanting to collab with him. You really think somebody like Pusha T, big Pusha T, lyrical genius, would be wasting his time on somebody like Drake if he knew he had a ghostwriter? No. You really think Kendrick Lamar would waste his time sending for Drake? Not just on Like That, but I'm talking the Heart Part 4, the BET cyphers. I'm talking Deepwater. No. You really think Cole would be out here collabing with Drake? Bringing him out on stage during live performances? Making songs like First Person Shooter where he says things like, me and Drizzy this shit like the Super Bowl. If he really had a ghostwriter, you think that Eminem would be shouting him out and singing his praises. I just personally think that the Quentin Miller ghostwriter situation has just gone way out of hand. And I think regardless of what he does in his career, that's always going to haunt him. But it doesn't mean to say that it's true. But nevertheless, it was a solid first round. Therefore a 1-0 so far. Even though he had fun with this diss track, you could clearly see that he meant every single word of what he said. All of his lines were very clear and had venom to them. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like when Drake is rapping in this particular diss, you can hear that he's been wanting to get all of this shit off his chest. Because albeit this track was largely directed towards Kendrick, he did a very good job at slapping back at every other person that sent for him. It kind of reminded me of Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine, where when he gets out of the lift and everyone starts spraying him up, and he's just there with his two katanas chopping up and deflecting every single bullet. If we're talking from a technical perspective, it's nowhere near as good as the Duppy freestyle. But it doesn't mean to say that we're not going to get that later on down the line. But I'm really curious to see if and how Kendrick is going to respond. Because Kendrick has pretty much been atting Drake for flipping years. And now all of a sudden he wants to come back and send for Kendrick. And we've heard nothing back from Drake other than small little subliminals. It's only until now that we've been able to get a full-on diss track response from Drake. And I feel like Kendrick's on this thing of, okay, cool, so you've taken your time to respond after all of these years. Cool. Now the ball's in my court. I'm going to do the same thing. I just hope he doesn't take too long because the beef is going to die down and it's not really going to hit the same. These are just some of my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you lot think in the comments below. I've been your boy Nick. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content. Bless.